All right, hello wine-drinking people. We've had our friends from Dreyfuss Ashby in the store and trying to set up this dinner with Christian or Edward Moex. We've got a collector that's got a vertical of Trotanoy going back to 45. So we've once again connected with our friends that are very good friends with the Moex family. And hopefully we can put this together in the next year or so, because that's our aim here at the Wine Watch, to drink the world's greatest wines. And, well, we have to sell a little bit to make it there. And these guys at Jospeh Drouhin make some very good wines. I'll never forget the lunch I had years ago with Frederick Drouhin up in Palm Beach, where he said, we would never put the names of the varietals on the label in Burgundy. You must know that we grow Pinot Noir and Chardonnay there. And then a few years later, Chardonnay, Le Forêt, Pinot Noir, Le Forêt. It's just what the market wanted, man. You got to listen to the market. Anyways, these guys also own a lot of land in Chablis, 2011, a very good vintage in Chablis like 2010 was, maybe a little more forward and charming, not quite as structured, but this Domaine Vaudon 2011, really nice wine, fresh and bright with that limestone minerality showing there, green apple, fruit, lemon, citrus, a little bit of grapefruit also. You could mistake these wines for Sauvignon Blanc sometimes, these village level Chablis without oak. Texture of skim milk, a really textbook village Chablis, very good juice at $21.50. The Jospeh Drouhin Meursault up next. This is made from purchased fruit. They don't own any vineyards in Meursault. They're using a light hand of oak like everyone else, 10 to 15% new oak. Really rich and tropical. Meursault to me reminds me of California Chardonnay and Burgundy. A little bit of burnt matchstick. And this 2009 vintage, a very warm and fat vintage for the whites. Really rich and well endowed on the palate with lots of that peach and apple fruit coming through on the tongue with some light caramel notes, some lemon drop candy, and some nice minerality. Very good juice, but a little pricey for village or so. Anyways, good wine's expensive. The Domaine Drouhin Pinot Noir from the Dundee Hills. This is the family that made Oregon famous. Yes, that's right, when Robert came out there in the late 70s after tasting the 75 Erie Vineyard South Block and winning this Burgundy tasting. And, well, I think 79 was the tasting. So the early 80s he went out there and, this is when you have a famous Burgundy producer come out to your, new wine producing region and decide to set up shop there, man. Everybody in the Dundee Hills, all their property value went up. They were very happy to see him, and they're great people. We've had Veronique Drouhin in to do events, like she's the person that's in charge out there. And let me tell you, these even though these guys have not gotten huge scores in the past, they just make 3 wines here, 2 Pinots and 1 Chardonnay. They've always been outstanding wines, very well made and very well received by people that like Burgundy. Very fresh red cherry raspberry fruit showing with exotic spice and floral notes on the nose here. Really good complexity. That sweet cherry pie fruit on the tongue showing. This 2011 vintage, fairly charming. But again, these wines, nice structure. These are wines that need a little bit of time. Lovely savoriness on the finish. Some of that floral spice and a lovely silky texture in this wine. One of the things we love about Pinot Noir here. Excellent juice at $41.75. That's not real expensive for good Oregon Pinot. Anyways, Barone Ricasoli up next. This company, Dreyfuss Ashby, has got some really important names in their book. This is the oldest winery in Italy. How can they make that statement, man? They've been making wine in Italy for thousands of years. Well, anyways, I guess it was the oldest one, 1141. It's a long time ago. Jeez. They're about to celebrate their 1,000th birthday coming up here in the next 100 years. The first vintage of Brolio, and this is one of the sweet spots in Chianti, Classico. I'm sorry, Brolio is the name of the area that they're in. And now considered one of the crus. And this wine is a blend of Cabernet, a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot in it. And 2007, a very nice vintage in Tuscany here. Fresh plowed earth, kind of mushroom and wild herbs that you get from Tuscan wines. A little dark cocoa spice, a little fresh wild strawberry jam showing. A little bit of a meaty quality this wine as well. And that very distinctly Chianti, though, that earthiness that you get from Tuscany and the little truffle note showing there. Excellent juice at $49.50. The Renato Ratti, another legendary producer from his part. This guy was the first vineyard to map out all these crus in the Piedmont. And it's ironic they make a more New World style wine today. It's got new oak barrique in it and shorter skin maceration, so the wines are more approachable in their youth, which is what everybody's going for. A really pretty nose here, rose petals and some red cherry pie fruit, a little truffle earthy note showing there. A good amount of exotic spice in this wine, but really forward and fruity, even though, it is Barolo. It's still got some tannins, though. It's not going to be like, Pinot Noir in that respect. Some nice spice and earth on the finish. An excellent bottle of Barolo for $63. And then we're going to Spain here. The Torres family. Like I said, these guys have got some very important producers everywhere where they're at. And this is a Salmos wine from the Priorat. And this wine's a blend of Carignan and Grenache, like most of the stuff in the Priorat, and then a little bit of Syrah. And they do have a winery here. It's required, actually, to make a Priorat wine. You have to have a winery within the DOC. It's a DOC now, one of the 2 DOCs in Spain. And a slight roasted character to the black cherry and blackberry fruit here, lovely violet, floral notes, cocoa, brown spice. No matter that slate minerality coming through in this wine, though, really nice complexity on the nose, smooth and silky tannins on the palate with a nice amount of red and blackberry fruit showing through, nice savory finish, 15% alcohol, that wild floral nuance showing to the end. Excellent juice at 38 1/4, relative value for the Priorat. That's what I had to drink with our friends from Dreyfuss Ashby. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.